200, baby, let's go! Oh!
You were super hyped. Yeah, Luke was over there like, they didn't show me enough campaign footage, and I'm not interested in multiplayer.
The more I think about it, I think I actually really agree with you, Brett.
What is it?
On what I hope you're about to
No,
say.
you tell me.
IP is king.
Yeah, oh.
IP is king.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All the grenades.
You got heat wave and camo probably.
No, I use camo. I use
Tyler, that's strong.
What?
It's good. I hadn't taken a test. I hadn't taken a test sip yet. Trailer roundup. And Luke's gonna play with more cars.
Vroom, vroom.
The shot of the like creepy old lady during the elevator bit got me very excited.
Dude, Mitchell's vs. the Machines is awesome. And I'm like, what even is this movie? How have I not heard about this?
I also want to give a shout out this week to my wife, who got me this awesome A24 book.
Make it rated R and release it on Hulu.
The next announcement.
Do it, you cowards! Does Luke
not
want to burn the books? That's the real question.
I'm not anti-book, but it's really hard for me to read books.
Dune Part
You
1.
can't ask me to change my expectations moments before the movie begins.
We do it for every movie. We say,
yeah.
what if it sucks?
Reese's Pieces?
No.
Reese's Pieces are so good.
Crunchy almond pieces.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
see? Garbage.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Absolute trash.
What other things don't belong in ice cream?
Mint.
Bananas.
I'll straight up say it. Don't care. Mint and chocolate don't go together.
I like the little mint chocolate
It's
cookies,
disgusting.
but I don't need it in my ice cream.
Why would you want spicy chocolate? And it's not even like,
I do like spicy things, though.
but it's chocolate.
Dude, you should go drink one of those Flamin' Hot Mountain
I don't
Dews.
like that kind of spicy.
She fell too.
That kind of spicy and sweet. No,
They all be
for
falling.
me. What's up, fanboys and fangirls? Welcome back to
See,
another
like my
episode
ankles.
of the What the Fanboy Show. Tonight we'll
See
be
a lot
full
more
of Olympics commentary. We'll review Deadpool and Wolverine. We'll talk about House of the Dragon.
I'm going to review this Dr. Pepper I'm drinking. I haven't had Dr. Pepper in a hot minute.
Tyler, I'm a bad
Can you
influence
guess all
on
23
Tyler.
flavors?
I know that prune juice is in there. Cherry's in there. And it's
The only way I'm gonna
water.
be able to guess all 23 flavors is if I have 23 Dr. Peppers.
No.
So,
That sounds like a terrible
That
You like wine
sounds
pair
disgusting.
Dr. Pepper cans with something so you can bring out the flavors.
something like that. Well, hey, it's a new week. We gotta talk about things. I guess before we jump into trailers, which I'm not even sure if there were any new trailers released this week.
Dude, this weekend was such a blur that like I don't even know what's going on.
Tyler, was a good blur though.
It was a good blur. Yeah, it was a good blur. I had a great time.
We shot
Our
short film.
Second short film.
Second official short film. So that's took up a lot of time and energy. So
We got a couple nicks and bruises, but I think all in all, everybody came out of it.
Who got hurt?
We got an elbow over here, man.
No one told me about injuries.
I have a bruise too. I don't know what it's from.
What'd
but
you do?
I have no idea. I found a bruise on my leg. It's not like a bad one. Just like
Yeah. We got a little elbow tightness, a little elbow tendonitis.
Yeah, I was icing my elbows Saturday night.
He's okay. He's all right. We just monitoring. He's day to day.
Alex found a tick.
Yeah, if we were playing tomorrow, he could go.
He could go. Okay.
He could go.
Okay.
Yeah, he's hurt. He's not injured.
Okay.
Yeah. But
some might say he's aged like the rest of us.
he was playing through some things.
Welcome to the old club, sir.
Next time you're gonna show up and you're gonna have like copper fit sleeves on.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
It probably is a great idea.
Yeah, but we shot outside all weekend, so we
Yeah.
we were real hot.
I'm looking
it
like
was so
real.
hot.
We did a
real
good job of
tan.
drinking lots of water, though.
Yeah, we did.
So by Sunday afternoon, we were
getting nervous.
running low.
Yeah, we were getting nervous.
Woo.
And we
We were by the creek.
I
You just have to make do.
don't want to know
I
what.
would have just bought a life straw. We'd have been fine.
Could have shared the life straw.
Yeah, we all just take turns. Puff, puff, pass the life straw. We'd have been all right.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, we're going to be moving into post-production on that, so that's pretty exciting.
It'll be done in 3 days.
Oh, I'm going to be moving into post-production on that, and it will not be done in 3 days. I have a regular job to do as well.
They can wait.
But it should I think it will go considerably faster than our last one. It's much shorter, so
Yeah. Oh yeah. Definitely. Have
Looking-
fun editing, man.
looking forward to
Enjoy.
it. Yeah, it was fun. It was a good shoot. Shout out to the crew and Nora and John, our cast. Everyone killed it. So,
Yeah.
not that any of them listen to this, but I know Nick occasionally listens to this. Nick is gonna get a carpenter credit. He made
Yeah,
he
boy.
made some things for us. So thank you.
And like,
Nice.
it was so funny. I sent him a picture when we had set it up,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, "Just so you know, this is in like one of the most important shots in the whole short." And he was like, "I wish you'd have told me that." And I was like, "Nah,
It's like I would have spent even more time
it
on
looks awesome."
it. It does. It does look awesome. So
Shout out Nick.
shout out Nick. Hell
But,
yeah.
yeah, we survived the weekend, and now
We're gonna attempt to remember Deadpool and Wolverine.
I mean, there's not much to remember.
That's true. Fair point. Well, before we
And
jump,
if you did forget any of it, they're posting it all on social media
dude,
today.
I have
so,
seen
yeah.
so much. Real quick before we jump into that, Luke, did you have any trailers written down?
There was a Squid Game season 2 teaser.
Really?
Yeah, it was.
Did it look any good?
I mean, it was not that crazy, but I'm excited. It was. It also kind of came with an announcement that season 3 was announced. And
We've already announced season 3.
yeah,
Wow.
and it's gonna be the last season.
Okay. Well.
So it was kind of
There's-
like an Olympics themed trailer.
Oh, that's cool.
But
Okay.
I'm really excited for season 2 of that show. And season 3.
I'm excited to see what they do
Different.
different, because it did kind of feel like such like a lightning in the bottle
Mm-hmm.
show. I'm concerned they'll just if it feels too similar, I think I'll be disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
But if they can build out some of that world a little bit and play with the challenges and make them, unique and not make the drama kind of be too similar, then I'll be into season 2 and look forward to a season 3. So
Can't wait.
cool. All right.
There might have been another trailer. I have no idea.
I'm sure there were. Forgive us this week, guys. We're in survival.
You don't have to forgive us.
I just see the Wicked trailer like 1,000 times.
1,000 times. Well, I was gonna say, like, anything. If there was a new trailer that was online, surely you would have seen it, because surely they would be playing it during the Olympics. I mean, unless it's like a
Only if it's something that's coming out
A24.
soon. If it's anything future, then maybe not.
maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, well, next week we'll catch it next week if we missed it this week. Yeah, Tyler and I are gonna have Luke. You didn't go see Deadpool. Cool. Tyler, you're gonna. I didn't think you had, but you also hadn't. I hadn't actually asked you. So, yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine. I gave some impressions last week. So Tyler, I'm gonna let you kind of lead off with what your thoughts were, and then we can have a shortened but lengthier than last week discussion about it.
I guess like my general thoughts or impressions would be like, if you're a fan of the Deadpool movies, this is a good time. Like, it's fun, but there's not much substance there. Is kind of what I think I texted you guys right after watching it. Like, there's fun moments, there's fun cameos, there's some fun little roles in there, but there's just no substance. The movie lacks a story. Really, I mean, there's no other way to say it. The more I think about it, the more I'm just like, what were we really trying to do here? And I think the answer to that is we're just trying to let Deadpool and have an excuse to put Wolverine in the suit. I mean, this movie exists only to put Hugh and Ryan in a movie together.
It really does feel like it's supposed to be just two best friends getting together to make
Just have fun.
a movie,
Yeah.
which I can respect. on a
Yeah,
certain
I mean,
level.
good for them that they got to do that.
And to get to do that with that much money to play
Yeah.
with, right? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I mean, I guess that would be my impression of it. Just that it's fun, but there's not a lot of substance there. I think they set out to do exactly, or they set out to accomplish exactly what they did.
they
I
did,
don't
they
think
did
they were
what they set
trying-
out to accomplish.
Yeah, I don't think they were trying to do anything special. I
No.
think they were just trying to have fun and
Yeah.
have some fun moments, and
Yeah.
they did that. And I think Ryan was really just trying to kind of dig up the past a little bit on some things, and
Literally.
yeah, that maybe he was a part of that never came
yeah.
to fruition.
Yep.
And I think I think that's kind of cool. Whether it's good or not is a different conversation, but I think it's kind of cool that they did that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's some deep cut cameos in there
There are.
that a lot of people will like. I hope they remain as cameos and not like, now we're going to do a spin-off thing and we're going to see these characters again. Because, look, the movie's doing incredibly well. So
Don't learn the wrong lesson.
don't learn the wrong lesson. There's even a joke in there about doing this till you're 90, and
Till you're 90.
that could. I'm concerned that might not be as much of a joke as we think it is.
I've only heard of one potential spin-off coming out of it so far, so.
Well, and it wouldn't make sense to do many, but I do think that there probably will be discussions about, well, okay, is Deadpool a character we keep around, and I still don't think it's ever really integrated into the mainline MCU outside of maybe a cameo.
Well, he may show up in like an event film. Yeah.
Right. But yeah,
I just don't think. I mean, if you're talking just even like Doomsday or Secret Wars, like,
yeah,
I don't think he would fit. Like,
No.
he's just too goofy.
mm-hmm.
And I think it would take away from. I mean, I guess it's hard to say now, but tonally, I just don't know if he would fit. In
You guys
with
can
everybody
spoil
else.
stuff, by the way. I don't care.
We'll get into that.
Talk about some spoilers.
Yeah.
Because you're like beating around bushes, so if you're just like, if you want to say it. Like,
No, I was just saying if he's in Secret Wars, he's just too goofy. The only spin-offs I've heard of are Wolverine and Hulk.
Yeah. No,
Which I totally just realized Hulk's in this movie.
CG Hulk.
Yeah. I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, just for a second.
Yeah.
But that does kind of feel like, to me, what this movie is.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of 1 second of this.
Yep.
And it's just like, we just want to feed you 1 second dopamine hits for an hour and a half. And I think it does for probably most audiences, it does a pretty good job of that. I'm the 1% who is like, that just didn't work for me.
Remember, like, the other week when I was talking, what was that game that caught fire for, like, a weekend?
First Ascendant?
That. Remember what I was talking about, how it was, like, the TikTok of video games?
Yeah.
This is kind of like the TikTok of movies.
Yeah. And now it's like coming out on TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I've seen so many clips. And I know that's just the way the world works these days in terms of like people taking their phones and recording things.
Well, I wish somebody would get a good recording of the opening credits.
Opening
'Cause
credits are good.
I would watch that.
The Bye Bye Bye?
Yeah.
Felt like they've looked pretty decent.
Yeah, but it's like chopped up. It's not like the actual scene.
Oh, I should just say I've seen a lot of this movie.
Yeah. It's all over social media.
Yeah. Yeah. By this point, all the cameos have been spoiled. I mean, I think I've seen them all.
Yeah.
So, no, I don't know.
I hope you've seen them all. You saw the movie.
I mean, I've seen them all in the feed. But no, I don't know. Like, is there any spoilery things you want to talk about that stood out? Like,
I mean,
to
a
me,
couple
like
things that I liked. I guess I could talk about. I
Yeah.
think one of the things I like, and again, this, whether you think the performance is good, bad, whether you think what it is in the movie is good or bad, I don't care, honestly. And that's not you. I just mean
he
in
doesn't
general.
care.
I do love that Gambit got to show up. That movie was in development hell for so long, and the fact that it actually like graced a screen for even 20 minutes is just, to me, was just kind of cool. And then like it's enhanced by hearing Channing Tatum talk about it and how like he thought he'd never get that shot, and because I mean they walked him out on stage at SDCC years ago when all that stuff was kind of spinning up, and it felt like that movie was pretty close to shooting, and then it was gone.
Yeah,
because Disney bought Fox, and like all that stuff fell apart.
Yeah,
and I thought it was just cool to see that happen, and I thought like the powers and stuff looked pretty cool. Yeah, like with throwing the cards and all the explosions and kind of his stupid.
I definitely think he's maybe the most interesting cameo / character, right? Because we get a little bit more time with him. There's a few other characters, Electra, Blade, and
Blade has some of the best jokes.
yeah, oh for sure. But I feel like with both Electra and Blade, it's like here are older performers who aren't like they're not really like I don't know, their stuff didn't feel like, especially their action didn't feel real unique or like I don't know. This was a version of Gambit we never got to see, and so it was like his accent was fun, his visuals were fun.
His accent's ridiculous. But I did laugh a few times.
I'm making a movie for somebody. Yeah.
Exactly. Luke knows.
Yep.
So yeah, and I would agree with you that he was a fun addition to this film.
Yeah, I thought he was the one that I was like, oh, I didn't know they were gonna do this.
Yeah.
Like all the other ones I could have seen coming, I guess. Sans Electra.
Sure.
Never would have guessed that. I thought for sure Ben Affleck. Did not think that. But yeah, all the others, I felt like you kind of just expect to be there.
Yeah.
Even Blade, like Ryan Reynolds is in Blade.
Yeah.
Like it's not surprising that he's there.
Right. There's a connection there.
Yeah, but no, I thought the Gambit stuff was cool, and then I don't know. I think that's like the only cameo I'd say I really cared about. There's just nothing to this movie to really talk about. Like, there's no story.
Yeah.
I guess from a negative standpoint, I don't understand the reason to bring all the Deadpools in.
Agreed.
I still don't know why they're there. So if you're in the comments or you listen to this and then see me later, tell me. Because I don't understand why they're there.
For a third act fight scene.
For a third act, I don't know. The nice pool stuff was fun. I enjoyed it, but then like there's only one Deadpool who doesn't regenerate.
Yeah.
It's like, all right.
It happens to be Nice Pool, who has the two things that Deadpool wants, which is the dog and the gold guns.
Yeah. Are those golden deagle pistoleros? Yeah. Give them to me. No. Yeah, and the dog. Like, the ugliest dog ever. And it's... Yeah, that bit goes on for a long time.
I think a little too long.
Like where the dog's like licking his mouth.
Yeah.
I was like, this is getting kind of weird. I guess I kind of want to talk about like performances.
Sure.
Hugh. Look,
I
like Hugh Jackman. This does nothing for me for him.
No, I was surprised because I had seen quite a few people be like, "Oh, like he gives such a good performance."
Oh, that just reminded me.
And I just walked out of that like, really?
Yeah, I don't think he does anything special. I think he just says the F word a lot.
I think he's having fun.
Yeah, for sure. He's definitely having a good time.
That doesn't equate to a good performance.
The thing that really irked me about this movie, like the one emotional moment they have between him and X-23, they like cut it short and then show it in a flashback later.
It's a reveal.
And it's like, I think one of the dumbest ways to do something like that. Because I think that moment maybe hits a little harder. That sucks. I think that moment maybe hits a little better if you just show the whole moment.
Yeah.
And then he calls back on it in that final moment.
Right.
But instead, it's like, we're going to show you half the scene, and then we'll show you the rest of it later in his head. And I just did not like that choice at all. Like, I was like, why? Yeah. Like, because in the moment where they are talking, I think there's opportunity for, not to make you feel real crazy, but it'll at least, make you feel something. Because this movie doesn't do that, other than it makes you laugh occasionally. Mm-hmm. But yeah, just some of the decisions and how they handled the emotional moments that they could have had is a little weird. But hey, other thing I'll mention that I appreciate that Lady Deadpool does not take her mask off.
Yeah.
Just kind of appreciated that because like everybody knew it was Blake Lively.
And one more cameo.
Yeah,
right?
it's like just one more, but they didn't do it, so I was like, I kind of appreciate that. But yeah, I mean, there's just not a whole lot to talk about with this movie, in my opinion. It's fun. If you like the other Deadpool movies, I think you'll enjoy it or find something to enjoy about it. It has zero story, though. Just go into it knowing that, like, the premise is I just want to matter.
And don't even really expect the plot devices to make sense within the greater MCU narrative.
Because I don't even know why they used the TVA.
Because they used the TVA, and so it's like, okay, but now we're inventing things like anchor beings and...
Yeah, we're just making stuff up.
It's fine, but like, why go to all the effort to try and tie it in?
Do they solve the anchor being thing for his universe? Is it him?
Nah, I don't remember.
Or did they just transplant Wolverine? See, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't understand like what happens by the end of this movie. Like, I don't know what we were trying to achieve.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the biggest knock on it for me.
Yeah.
If you have just any semblance of a story here, I think it's a much better movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't know. Should we give it ratings?
Yeah. Well, I kind of gave mine last week, and it hasn't changed. I still think it's a straight to streaming.
Oh man, I thought you were gonna upgrade it to a Booyah or something.
Yeah, Booyah!
Well, ironically, like I've kind of soured on it a little bit, just the more I've talked to people about it, who love it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I just really don't like
that
things.
guy in McDonald's last night.
It was effing awesome.
Dude, he came in there and he
was hot, boy. He was
hyped up. He could barely get his drink.
Yeah. He was talking about quitting his job. They were like, we're going to tell him. He's like, I'll just quit my job. It's like, man, you're feeling yourself
I'm very confused about what you two do on Sunday nights.
We're on the way home.
We went to McDonald's on the way home.
Stopped at McDonald's and then...
Yeah.
Okay,
It
but
was
you
dinner
were...
time.
But
We were driving from set. We were hungry.
Talking to people about Deadpool?
No, this dude just walked in McDonald's screaming about Deadpool.
He worked at McDonald's.
So he saw his coworkers.
And just started...
That makes a little more sense.
Yeah.
Just cussing at him.
That's hilarious.
The movie was.
Yeah, he was fired up.
That's awesome.
I think when I walked out of the theater... I would have said I'd give it a fanboy worthy, but I think now I'd give it probably just a Matthew McConaughey.
Sure.
It's pretty middling. I think, I do think, I'd watch it again. If somebody wanted to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to go to the theater and see it again.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah. Fair.
Somebody's like, you want to pay to go? No, I don't.
No, absolutely not.
But yeah, it
Cool.
was a fun time. Fun times were had. I went with a pretty cool group of dudes, so that was fun. And, yeah. On to the next.
On to the next one.
We'll see if the MCU can right the ship.
There's big MCU news that
Yeah.
you can have an opinion on it later.
I don't really need to.
Okay,
I'll
cool.
just be super negative.
All right, that's fine.
Maybe I will. That'd be fun.
We were negative enough last week.
Yeah.
Or maybe we weren't.
Maybe we weren't.
I will actually talk about it later because
Have thoughts.
yeah.
Oh,
Just-
we want to hear your thought. I want to hear your thoughts.
From a story standpoint, I have
Yeah.
a thought. But
Fair enough.
Okay.
Luke and I finished up House of the Dragon this week, season 2. Season finale. It was 8 episodes. A little shorter. Season 1 was 10 episodes. So we got a shorter season.
I saw they announced that this will end with season 4 this week too.
Yes.
Are we saying
So two more seasons. Luke,
kind of know, I guess, what they're doing?
we've talked on and off about episodes along the way. So I guess I'm curious what your season finale kind of reactions are, and then what's your season 2 whole kind of thought.
As for the finale, I thought it was good. I just think they don't know where to end stuff, or even really how to.
Yeah.
I feel like their cliffhangers are always kind of just... I don't know. They feel so baity. Like, I feel like we're ending in the middle of a season.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, the high point was in the middle of the season. So it was just a weird episode. Like, I like the things that happen in it.
Mm-hmm.
But then it ends and you're just like, it's done.
This is the episode ended and I was like, this is how I felt at the end of season 1. I feel like that's probably a problem, right? Like, anticipation of a war. But, like, the war is technically started. We got a battle.
They were on the brink of war this entire season.
Yeah.
And, like, the armies are just now marching.
Right. Yeah.
Like, just not really sure where...
It's like big picture stuff. It's not moving fast enough, but the interpersonal stuff that they give us is good.
Yeah.
Like, I like all of, like, where the characters are at and what they're going through. It's just, like, zoom out a little bit, and it just feels like we're not doing anything interesting.
Yeah.
The interesting stuff is next season. But, so, I agree. I think the season finale
every episode was like that.
was good. I liked what I got. I just felt like we probably needed at least one more episode, or we needed to
It probably would have
shorten.
ended the same.
I
Because they ended every episode like that. It's like, and next week,
well that
we're gonna do the thing.
yeah, but I think I think you do the thing. I think you actually do the thing on the season finale, and you know, get it kickstarted. But you know, now this is gonna let them go in 2 years' time to do the hey, are you Team Green or Team Black again?
Man, nobody is Team Green. Nobody, not even some characters that were Team Green are
Team Green anymore.
So,
I do think, especially at King's Landing and the Team Green, like their side of the chessboard is more interesting than at the beginning of the season. This goes back to like the interpersonal stuff is good, right? Like where Aegon and Aemond and the sons are at versus where Alicent is at and Otto. Like I like how all those pieces have shuffled around. It just felt like, why did we spend a whole season shuffling to not really like? I find it hard that there's not a bigger payoff at the end of the season. Like the payoff they're promising is season 3 versus the season finale. That's a big promise to make.
yeah,
But
yeah, they're promising us total war next season, which sounds expensive.
gonna be the most expensive season ever.
That's why
We
they
thought-
ended with 4.
We thought Game of Thrones season 8 was big.
Hey, listen.
Pricey.
At least they make it look good.
They do.
Other shows are getting 200 million or whatever, and their shows look terrible.
Yeah.
So.
No, it does. It looks great. And they shoot on the volume sometimes too.
Yep.
But it doesn't look like crap.
But season overall, really, because every episode was like that,
Mhm.
I'm pretty disappointed.
Yeah.
I still think it's good, but I think House of the Dragon in its totality has just been like, we're trying to do too much. We keep mentioning so many things that are happening around, like in cities we've never been to.
Right.
And there's 50 cities you need to know, or towns, 50 places. There's a bunch of off-screen characters that I don't know if we've met or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's just the core cast, and there's too many of them as it is.
Yeah.
And it's just like, this is the problem when you got like in season 5 or 6 Game of Thrones, you're just like, man, I don't remember who any of these people are. And it's just like, we're in season 2, and it's just like, who are you, dude? Like, some like Kingsguard shows up.
Yeah.
Like, what's the guy who they're gonna give a dragon who got roasted? Spoilers. Who got roasted?
Yeah, in episode 7.
Literally, didn't remember he had been in the show at all.
Well, yeah.
Like, I thought he was a new character.
Yeah. No, Well, and yeah.
And they killed off the ones you like.
Yeah.
In like episode 2
there,
or
there
3
is
or
the
whatever.
one Kingsguard that you like know, and it's like, okay, so it's not him because he died.
That and that battle and Rook's Rest are the only fights. That was
only on-screen fights, because they do allude. There is the
Blackwoods and the Brackens.
Blackwoods and Brackens, and then there is at the beginning of this episode the burning of Sharp Point. Sharp Point.
Never had heard of that city before.
They don't do that. Is something I don't think they do a very good job of explaining. I agree.
They just make up names and they're like, they destroyed the forest of gingerbread men.
I'd be really curious to
Oh,
see
no!
how the book reads.
Yeah, me
as
too.
Well,
Yeah. One day.
wonder how much it costs.
But thankfully, what this show has going for it was, we mentioned it before, it's a beautiful show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the cinematography and the VFX are so good. And then it has great acting.
Yeah.
It's like all those little things are done really well. They just need... I think they need to do less.
Yeah.
800 pages.
They need a red wedding. They just need to kill a whole bunch of characters. And hopefully the first episode of season 3 is a giant battle and half the characters die.
I feel like you could have done that at like the end of season 1, and it would have been like a big like, oh, where do they go from here?
Yeah. It's like, oh, we're trying to... Well, that's too similar to season 1 of Game of Thrones, but I don't know. I thought it was all right.
I think the show has struggled with understanding what the fans want in terms of a payoff.
And the big thing, they keep just alluding to the ending of Game of Thrones, and that's really the last things Game of Thrones fans want,
Yeah.
because it's pretty much universally hated. So if you keep just mentioning it or talking about it, people aren't gonna like that, and that's what they're gonna focus on, and that is what people are focusing on.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just okay, we get it. Visions, prophecy, Song of Ice and Fire, it's happening, but please do not make me listen to people say winter is coming for the rest of this show. Because
but
that
them
is
Starks are coming
300.
south.
That is 300 years away.
Yeah. I probably enjoyed it a little more than Luke, but I would say that
this
it's
freaking match pissed me off so much.
a definite step down from season 1, especially with just... It did kind of feel like it fell flat at the end. So, that said, I'm still very much looking forward to season 3 and what they bring.
Same.
So, I'll just...
It's still good.
Yeah. Still good. Yeah. I'll give it a... I don't know. What would you give it?
I give it a Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey.
I think it's probably like a high Matthew McConaughey for me. Yeah. Yeah.
That's not terrible, though.
I do think there are like fans of Game of Thrones who will watch this season and be like, that was a disappointment. So that's why I don't feel like I can probably give it like a fanboy worthy. But at the same time, like for me, I like those interpersonal things so much, character driven moments that really brings it. I can live with fewer battles.
But not none. Or
But
just
not
one.
none. And maybe that one should be at the near the end of the season versus the midpoint.
Yeah, that happened, and then the show just plateaued on this is fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
The rest of the way.
They really did kind of it felt a little bit like a wheel. Like every episode we're going here, we're doing this thing again, and Damon's gonna have his dream, and
Different family member every time.
Every time. I do love that we got some season 1 characters back in his visions or dreams. So and we played around with magic a little bit. It's still not quite enough for me, but I love
We got to remind you every once in a while, oh yeah, magic's here.
Magic's real in this world. So
we do be magicking.
We do be doing some magics.
Magic the Gathering?
You're a wizard.
Fun game.
You're a wizard.
Kind
Harry.
of overcomplicated though.
Yeah. That's fair.
I'll wait for the movie.
The Magic the Gathering movie.
Yeah.
It's
All right.
inevitable at this point.
News time. Tyler, why don't you give us your hot take on our Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars? Last week we talked about the Russo brothers coming back. Same with Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom. What are your thoughts on the situation, the scenario?
So, on the Russos coming back, and Robert Downey Jr. seemingly having pulled the strings to make that happen, and for Marvel to be like, yeah, the Russos production company can produce these, kind of a bizarre move by Marvel. Feels like they're just in... Feels like they feel like we think they are.
Yeah.
It just feels like they're in trouble. It feels like they're not quite sure what to do next. So they're just starting to go back to what they already have done in the past.
And the co-producing feels like they're not able to take as big of a swing in terms of like putting all of the money behind it. Like, we want to share the risk.
Well, they've had some stinkers, man. They've lost some money.
Yeah, it's unique for the MCU.
Yeah, this is the first one. And how many movies in are we at this point? 26? 8? Something crazy like that.
And shows.
I mean,
Yeah.
the first couple weren't because they were under Paramount and Universal was Hulk and
Yeah, I mean,
But-
either way, it's still just a bizarre situation as a whole.
Yep.
As far as Downey coming back, I just think that's so lame. It's just uninspired is the word I would use for that. Because here's what they're going to do. Nobody remembers who Peter is. Peter's going to see Doom. Doom's going to know who Peter is. Peter's going to be like, that's not Tony from another universe. Even though he's playing Victor and he's probably going to, masquerade as Tony because he knows that other universes Tony's a good guy or something.
Mm-hmm.
And Peter's going to be the one to be like, nah, he's bad, guys. And nobody's going to know who he is, so they won't trust him. And, like, you can just write this movie down on a napkin and be like, yeah, that's probably what they're going to do. I feel the same way. That's not fair. I was way more excited for Endgame. But I felt like I knew exactly what Endgame was going to be. Like, I think everybody just knew what Endgame was going to be. And I feel like I know exactly what this will be, too. And that sucks.
It feels different, though, because Endgame feels earned.
That's what I mean. Yeah, like, I
Yeah.
felt better about
Yeah.
Endgame. I don't love Endgame, but, like, I felt way better going into it following Infinity War than I do at all for this. Because this feels a lot like what DC did. We're just rushing back to an Avengers movie. Rushing forward because we had so much buildup for these big moments. And then we're like, we're going to give you Doomsday right away. No lead in for Doom at all. He's just there versus the Avengers right away.
Yeah.
They're not going to build him up. The buildup is casting Robert Downey Jr. for them. That's what they're banking on. And I just think that's super duper lame. So that's where I land on it. I don't know. I'll watch it because we'll watch it. But
Yeah,
like,
right.
I don't know, man. I'm not excited.
Fair enough. No. Very good.
I'm not excited. So
Okay.
Yep, I get it. Killed all my hype for, like, everything.
yeah, we were talking yesterday in the car and like we just need Superman to get here and hopefully be good. So that I can be excited about superhero movies again.
Yep.
But
So we talked a little bit about House of the Dragon HBO show. There
Also
was
the
like
dragon.
some first footage of some other HBO shows coming out next year,
Oh, yeah.
which would be Last of Us season 2. Got a little teaser. I guess these are like they weren't long enough for me to like.
They're like 5 seconds.
I don't really want to call them trailers.
I also skipped
They were
this.
a part of a Baker trailer, but we got some footage of Last of Us season 2 and Night of the Seven Kingdoms, which is another Game of Thrones spinoff. So, yeah, I don't know. There's not really enough there.
Oh,
to...
please be the last Game of Thrones spinoff.
Absolutely not, Luke. There's no way it is.
Just let a thing be great, even though it didn't end great.
So, Yeah, those are coming, and I don't know. I think they look. I mean, from what the footage that they've shown, it looks fine. But it's hard to judge something on 5 seconds of anything. So, other news stories.
Got a couple here. Sony Santa Monica working on their first new IP in 20 years.
Bet it flops.
That's the
Not because it's a bad
Are they
game,
also
but because
working
it's a
on
new
God
IP.
of War 3?
So Barlog is working on what is assumed to be the Loki spin-off thing
Okay.
post Ragnarok, and then that team that did Ragnarok is working on a new IP.
Gotcha.
So I'm excited for that. I'm very curious
Yeah.
to see what they do. So that'll be cool. I guess there's a John Wick sequel series,
The High Table.
Under the High Table, I guess is what it's called. So that's cool, I suppose.
I'll take it.
Did the
Yeah.
Continental end up doing like reasonably well?
I have no idea.
We watched the first episode together, and then I just never even heard about it on the internet.
I thought it was okay.
You finish it?
I finished it, yeah.
Okay.
It's only 3 episodes.
Yeah, it was a miniseries, but that's on Peacock.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I could watch that actually now. I wouldn't have to come over to your place. I might finish that. Probably need to restart it though.
It's a cool story, I think. It's just not really done like as good as the John Wick movie.
It's one that Steph and I could sit down and watch and have like a good time with though. Now that like our main one is, I mean for like 3 evenings. Look,
Yeah,
so
it won't be
these are
anything
date
crazy.
nights for us, right?
Yeah, no, I was just more saying, like, I
Okay.
remember not really liking that first episode all that much.
Sure.
But hey, it could be fun. Ed Boon, famous for Mortal Kombat stuff, leaked the first image of Kitana from the Mortal Kombat 2 movie.
That's right.
Do with that what you will.
I do remember seeing that.
Yeah, I'm ready to watch her just absolutely murk somebody with that thing. It's going to be sweet. How
How are they going to kill a hat guy again? Doesn't he
I
always
don't
have to
know.
die in every single one somehow?
He does die in like every game, it feels
Kung
like.
Lao?
Yeah,
His name?
Kung Lao. Liu Kang's brother. And then this is my favorite news story of the week because I thought it was really cool. Long Legs, if your birthday is on the 14th, you can see the movie for free through AMC and Regal. And I just think that's awesome.
So my sister can. Cool.
Really cool marketing.
I've got 2 stories.
Cool.
Vowed was delayed
Saw that.
into 2025, which is always, I mean, it's fine. Like, make the game as good as it can. I've never thought that game really looked that good.
Mm-hmm.
But also, like, that thing is, like, had 4 release dates in this year, and now it's not coming in this year.
Remember, like, last year, though, they were like, everything in this showcase is coming out in 12 months. And then that was in there. And then this year, they're like, everything in this showcase is coming out this year. And now this is in next year. And it's just like, man, Xbox. It makes me wonder, what do they have now? Call of Duty?
Call of Duty. The only thing they need.
I guess.
Oh, well.
Well,
I hope all the kids enjoy that one.
gaming's in a weird place.
The other story I have is that Bungie lost another one of its lives. And they're running out.
If it were a cat, I'd be starting to get worried.
Yeah. They laid off 220 employees. They moved
Which is like larger
175?
than like some
150?
I thought it was like
developers.
117, but
It's like 115.
So- something over 100 to Sony,
Yeah.
and then 75 are being split off into a new studio under Sony.
the days of Bungie are numbered, my friends.
Kind of feels like it.
Yeah.
And this is on the heels of the Final Shape being the highest reviewed thing they've ever released for Destiny.
Well, and they haven't really talked about it, but you know, just because something gets high reviews doesn't mean it sells well.
Yeah, and it didn't. And then, like, kind of people, like Jason Schreier had a big breakdown on it. Every single annual expansion they have sold less and less, and then Lightfall was terrible.
Like, didn't do well
Didn't
sales wise, but also
didn't
was
review well, did it?
reviewed very poorly.
And there was a huge drop off, and then Final Shape also was less.
Yeah.
Even though people loved it,
Yeah.
and they had a insane crunch in that delay. I don't know if you've
Yeah, I read some of
read
the
all
articles,
this.
yeah.
Like, when they delayed the game is when they created the dread and the exotic class items, an entire raid encounter, which I think is everybody's favorite in that one, and the exotic mission, which is
Yeah.
everybody's favorite exotic mission now. It's just like, if none of this stuff would have been in there, it's like half the expansion.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it was called Make or Break, and then they thought they did it, and then they were fired. Or sorry, they were laid off. They're fired. And now lots of games have been canceled. They had a bunch of incubation projects; those are done, except for the one that's just a new studio now. Also, I don't see anybody talking about this. Now that's a new studio, it can be a Sony exclusive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It will 100% be Sony
Because
exclusive.
Bungie was all, no, we are making games for
multi-plat.
Dude,
multi-platform.
that's what Sony wanted, man.
I
Move that talent around.
although this is my little prediction, I guess. I think Sony is going to just fully take over Bungie. I think P. Parsons won't leave. I think he will be
The mouthpiece.
forced to resign.
Mm.
And Sony will take over, and I think we'll see major changes. I wouldn't be surprised if like Marathon is Sony
Exclusive.
PC exclusive.
Dude,
That's kind of what they've been doing for their
Yeah. For their other
live
first-party
service
stuff,
games.
Yeah.
Worked
Yeah.
for Helldivers. We don't know about Concord yet, but
dude, Concord needs to be delayed and turned into a free game. So bad.
but yeah, Bungie is just really falling apart again.
Well,
And it seems like they have to just fall apart, and then they like bring themselves up, and then they just rip the rug,
Or
and
they
it
get
falls
bought-
down
or
again.
they get bought again, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like,
It hurt.
because isn't the Concord team, aren't in that ex Bungie people?
a lot of them are.
And now
Yeah.
Sony has another studio that's definitely making a games as a service thing. I'm sure. Yikes, man.
I just feel like at what point as Sony do you look at something like Destiny 2 and realize that that's not a sustainable model
High burn rate.
and look at their other things that are critically acclaimed that sell well that they keep doing remasters on, right? Like we were just talking about Horizon or The Last of Us. Like they have plenty of like single player games. Bungie used to make single player games. I feel like there's DNA there that lends itself to making something that's more sustainable than going all in on games as service.
Yeah. The other part that was a part of it too was the Destiny community has always been like, give us Destiny 3, like we want Destiny 3, like
Apparently, it was
We're
just
okay with that.
never actually on the table.
it was never talked about.
It was never greenlit.
Yeah, it was
The wasn't the comment that it was Destiny player base skews older, and they don't think it's a worthwhile
investment.
risk to make a Destiny
Yeah.
3.
yeah. And the thing that
Should have made that anime. Brought in a whole younger crowd.
that's never gonna happen.
Oh,
man.
no.
Freaking
All that talk of like the multimedia Sony deal
Yeah.
none of that's happening.
No.
It's just a way for them to fold Bungie in.
But one of the things that like they had going on in the background was called Payback, and that's what what's his name, Luke
Smith and
Mark Noseworthy were working on. And it was a spin-off of Destiny,
Ooh,
third
that kick is
person,
crazy.
where you play as heroes.
Dang, she is taking
And
off.
yeah, dude, she's fast.
That kick is awesome.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. But they compared it to Warframe and Genshin Impact, and to me that just honestly I was happy that got canned. that sounds horrible to me. Bungie, probably the best company at making first-person shooters, is going to make a third-person gotcha game.
It sounds like a game for TikTok generation, right?
Yeah, dude. That's the route they're going.
Blech.
College football could not have come at a better time for me. I'll be honest with you guys.
It's okay. I don't play games anymore. I make movies, so
You'll have time.
maybe I'll fire up Halo
There you go.
if I can ever find a match
Just play a campaign. It's good stuff.
to buy the campaign.
You don't have a Master Chief Collection?
Well, I could play those. That's true. I could play the good campaigns.
Oh, you were talking about Infinite. Okay. I literally forgot that game existed.
Should we go play some Halo 5 multiplayer, Luke?
I'm busy. I'd love to, but I'm just busy.
Sure. So yeah.
But yeah, here we are with Luke's prediction back on the table of
Hey, so mine too. I feel
Yeah,
like
'cause
I was really
Dude, there's no way Pete Parsons is gonna can stick around. There's just no way. Even though like part of I think it was Paul Tassi's article is like they thought this like considering it was like a low weekend, Bungie leadership was like this layoff thing went well.
Yeah,
They just have no idea that they're
they're
crumbling.
completely disassociated from
They're
reality.
on the top.
How's that
floor
ivory
of
tower?
the building, and they just can't feel the building shaking,
Yeah.
and it's falling, but gonna fall beneath their feet, man. Like, gosh dang it, bro. Get a
Yeah.
grip.
I'm really curious how Marathon's coming together. I don't know how a game like that saves a studio like Bungie, though.
Especially Bungie with I don't like their track record is they miss and then they fix it.
Yeah, right.
It's like, oh, Destiny Taken King, Destiny 2 Forsaken, Witch Queen,
Yeah.
Lightfall, Vital Shape. So it's probably gonna be Marathon Rises. Something, I don't know. But it also hurts, I think, well, maybe it'll help. That is just multiplayer. We'll have to wait and see.
I do think there's probably... I think this lends itself probably to honest... I mean, look, I think based on what they've kind of talked about or what's been leaked in terms of future roadmap plans for Destiny 2, though, like the smaller content packages and things like that.
Sound like the worst thing.
No, it doesn't. But I do think it's going to lead to more layoffs. I think that studio goes from it was 1,300,
Yeah.
and now it's down to under 1,000.
So like 800.
I bet that studio goes down to 500 here. Maybe not before Marathon, but I bet once Marathon is launched that it becomes Destiny's kind of on maintenance mode. Marathon then is on maintenance mode, and we're trying to figure out where to go with the future of the studio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, not a great time for games. Or in general, but like especially if you're a Bungie fan. Oh.
Man, then the last layoffs they had was in the past year. Like it was October.
Yeah. Crazy.
They couldn't even wait a year.
Couldn't make it a year.
Then Pete Parsons he tweeted out the note or whatever, and he immediately made his profile private.
Private.
Dude, what a freaking coward. Like, it's ridiculous, man. He's got to go.
I don't really have any other news stories. You guys got anything else?
I can look.
Release the air cut is trending on Twitter again.
Why?
Let's go. Throw it in the garbage. Oh, yep, there she is.
So, lots more Olympics happening this
Venom:
week.
The Last Dance is doing reshoots right now.
They're doing reshoots?
Yeah.
Okay. Not testing well, probably.
I'm surprised.
What?
Color me surprised.
How is that possible? Beloved films.
So, yeah, we didn't really talk about if we did anything else this week, but like we've said, we've been pretty busy with movie making stuff. What's up, Luke? You're laughing.
It's just this.
This headline on Variety.
I survived a marathon of Zack Snyder's unrated Rebel Moon, but still can't tell you why it exists.
Oh, yeah, Rebel Moon, the director's cuts came out this
Yeah.
week.
Dude,
Are we gonna get together and watch that? Is that the plan?
I just
Sure.
want to point out that, like, the last time I looked, it only had 8 reviews.
Yeah, people
on
just
Rotten Tomatoes.
aren't watching it.
People just didn't watch it. Or at least critics didn't watch it.
Yeah, that doesn't
I
surprise
can't
me.
speak for the population.
Well,
but
his little cult will love it, so they'll tell you it's the best thing since sliced bread.
If I ever become a divisive
dude, there's
director,
no
will
way
you
there's
guys,
actually
will you
anything
guys
that's
be
better than
my
sliced
cult?
bread.
Will we what?
Will you be part of my cult?
I will not be in a cult, no.
Aw.
I'll be your friend and support you, but I will not be in a cult. I'm
Okay,
sorry.
fine.
I'm gonna start a rival cult.
I will also not be in that cult.
Hey, you know what? At least you're sticking to your principles there.
Dude, I'm only in this for the money. Just,
It's
just
not
don't
a,
tell
it's not
my
a real
followers.
one.
Are you gonna buy a soda company? So I guess we can talk about things we've been doing.
Yeah.
I missed last week because I was sick. Thank God I'm not sick anymore.
Yeah.
sick with it.
But I watched an anime, like a legitimate anime, not something.
Look at our kid all grown up.
Yeah, man. I watched Solo Leveling. So if you've watched that show, you know that it's awesome. I'll give it a very strong fanboy worthy.
Nice.
And I'm very excited for season 2 that's supposed to start coming out later this year. It's awesome. If you don't know what it's about, look it up. Very good performances. I really enjoyed, even like the English voice cast was great. I think one of my favorite things about it though is just that Junu, the main character, is awesome. And I loved him a lot. And I love just kind of what he's trying to do. It's a very personal story for him, and it's a very cool world. So highly recommend that. I started my adventures with Superman season 2.
Oh yeah, baby.
2 episodes in. Haven't had a chance to watch since like Friday. But looking forward to getting back on that this week. And then I finished The Last Murder at the End of the World by Stuart Turton. It's a book. I think it's just a little too ambitious as a whole.
Is that the show we watched?
No, it's
No.
not the same thing.
It has a similar name.
Similar name. But
That
it's
was
not.
just Murder at the End of the World.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's just a little too ambitious. It tries to do a little too much. You have the timer that is the world ending, and then you have no detectives, but then a murder happens, and they just put this person who is the only person in this whole island of like 113 people who's
Very specific number.
willing to investigate. It's super strange. But it was all right. I give it Matthew McConaughey. And in turn, I have now started Mistborn Book 2, The Well of Ascension by Brandon
Nice.
Sanderson. I'm already pretty far in on that just because his chapters are long. So like if you read 4, you're 100 pages in.
Yeah.
But it's really good. Once again, just being back with those characters, being back in that world that gets infinitely larger within the first 2 chapters of the book. You're like, oh, there's places I've never heard of.
Yeah.
And it's just really cool. If the first book is about a city that's run by a bad person and someone who's viewed as a god and is overthrown, then the second book is about learning how to rule. And it's just kind of a really fun... and it's not your main character that's
Yeah,
learning how to rule.
yeah.
that's the backdrop for what your main character is doing, and I just think it's just really cool.
Nice.
It's not just a book or story where your leading character is the driver of the story. There's plenty of other opportunities for things to move forward, and
Awesome.
it's really good. So
Awesome.
I don't think they could ever do it in live action, but if they did, I'd be there.
Nice.
As a show, not a movie. Don't make a movie. It would not work. Those books are too big. Yeah.
Very cool.
That's what I've been up to. That and playing college football and making a short film.
Hold on, watch this. Dude,
Luke's been watching lots of Olympics.
I have been watching. Dude, this is awesome.
What's been the best event to watch so far?
Best dude, people with glasses are killing it in the Olympics this year.
She's like, what was my score?
best,
I couldn't see it.
Best moment or best?
Oh, for you, just what have you enjoyed the most?
Well, my favorite event to watch is always swimming.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so exciting. It's got like the speed and stuff like track does, but it has the danger of not being able to breathe. Plus, I was a swimmer.
Has there been one either athletic performance that stood out as like, I'm so glad I got to see that? Swimming or no?
There's been a lot of like just newcomers. Like there was like a 17-year-old girl who won like 4 gold medals.
Mm-hmm.
The French dude won 4 gold medals, and that was really fun. The U.S. girls crushed it. The best events though are always the Katie Ledecky swim.
Yeah.
She's so awesome, dude.
Her 1500 where she just like beat everyone.
She just beats everybody by 15 seconds. It's just like, I did it again. And then her 800 is always closer.
Mm-hmm.
But she's got 4 in a row with that one, which is, I think, the first time ever for us.
I think my favorite
swimmer
meme
or
out of
female
this
swimmer?
Olympics so far has been the turkey.
Dude, yeah, the hitman.
The Turkish shooter.
The Turkish shooter.
Dude's a hitman.
Dude,
I
yeah.
love it.
You see it next to like, I don't know if it was like a South Korean or a,
Like they have all that crazy
Yeah,
lenses
like-
and stuff.
and he's just like
Yeah,
hand in the pocket.
He got out of his car and went straight to the shooting range.
You know
He
he
didn't need to go to the locker
You know he
room.
walked up to check in and they were like, "Do you have any of your equipment so we can check it?" And he's like,
I got this gun.
"I have an air pistol and these corrective lenses. Would you like to look at them?" They look at them and they're like, "Oh yeah, these are just like readers." Throw them back on. He's like, "Cool, man." Just walks by in his wind pants. He's like, "All right, where am I shooting?" "Over there, boss."
Bullseye.
Cool. Pow.
Second place.
Silver medal. Sick.
Going home.
Yeah, he's going home to watch John Wick for inspiration now. So I'm gonna go watch some more movies.
For events or like just moments specifically though, watching the U.S. women's rugby bronze win.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Was
that was epic.
so epic. Like I was watching my TV and I
Mhm.
just had that up on my other computer over
Yeah.
the side as I was at home. No, like I had it muted and I was just like kind of watching. And I saw Australia score and I was like, oh man, of course this sucks. Like every rugby game I watch, somebody just scores right at the end when
Yeah.
that causes the U.S. to lose. And then like that happened
Then
again,
we
but they
did-
won.
we
I was
did
just
it.
like watching. I was just like, turn it up, turn it up, turn it up. I was just like, oh my gosh, that chick just ran all the way.
really happening.
Oh, dude, it was so epic. But yeah, gosh, I've probably spent like, I feel like I've watched 200 hours of Olympics, man. If it's on, it's on in my apartment.
Yeah.
I would have watched more, but obviously we were filming this weekend. But
I appreciate your sacrifice.
Oh. I'm glad I could help.
You did a
But,
good
I
job.
got caught up, and I was still kind of up on things. I was
Yeah.
keeping track, but
We were watching it in the travel times and stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
When we were going up yesterday, I'm just like me and Tyler were talking. I'm just watching Bobby Fink
Yeah, we had a
Just
nice.
destroy his 1500.
we talked
meter
Olympics
race.
like the whole drive. That was awesome.
Swimming's over now though, which is a huge bummer for me. And like
Mhm.
obviously gymnastics is ending right now, or it ended earlier, but it's on right now.
Right.
And like those are the two that I think are just the best.
Yeah.
But still got soccer and basketball, which I also love watching.
Mm-hmm.
I like track. I just don't get the same excitement as I do from track.
The fact
Dude,
they're
that
just in
100
the
meter
air.
finish was sick though last night.
I was disappointed by it.
Why?
The announcer
Oh yeah.
didn't call that it was close. And he even said, he's like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that. But he's like, this dude won it! And it's like, I don't know if I would have said that, buddy. It was
Yeah.
extremely
It
close.
was crazy.
Like okay, Usain Bolt won by body lengths.
Right.
And that's kind of what we had gotten used to. I think even the Italian guy at the last Olympics was like very clearly a winner. But there was like 4 people there that could have won. And
Yeah.
it's like, we're just going to call out a winner?
Well, they were like the difference between first and third was like 0.05 or something like
Yeah.
that. Like it was so razor thin.
And then they just didn't mention the bronze medal winner until Noah Lyles even just acknowledged
Yeah.
him. And they're like, oh, and the other U.S. guy also got a medal. And they never mentioned him again. Just like, we could have done this better.
Robert Griffin did like a cool little tribute to him on social media that I
Yeah.
thought was pretty neat. Could just kind of talk about, because I guess he had like a really turmoil-filled year.
Was that practice or was that real?
I don't know.
That was probably practice. She's walking around. I know what she got anyway. It was practice. I already know. I know the results already.
Yeah.
So I'm just watching.
But no, I guess that guy who got third had a really rough year. Like changed sponsors, changed coaches, changed like training facilities, like all this stuff. So to get third was like a big deal for him.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, they didn't even mention anything.
Dude, and that is like the best part of the Olympics. All these athletes are playing sports that nobody cares about.
Yeah.
And they all have these like just really heart-wrenching, not even just heart-wrenching, but just stories that get to you.
Yeah.
Where they're just trying to do this one thing that they love. And when you see them do it, it's just the best.
Yeah.
And then obviously on the other side, you have, like, have multiple greatest of all times going. Like, Simone has been doing awesome.
Yeah.
And Katie Ledecky is now the most decorated female swimmer ever. Maybe female Olympian ever?
Her, Simone, right?
It's definitely Ledecky. She is 13.
Oh boy.
Yeah, definitely.
And what does Simone have? 7?
I think she has 9 after tonight. Oop, spoilers. But yeah, I love Olympics. I got 7 more days of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna enjoy it.
Then you'll return to the world of everything else.
I don't know. I don't know.
Just start watching past Olympics.
Maybe.
Just throw them up on
Maybe
YouTube.
I'll go like back to the Olympics that like kind of got me interested in them, but I was too young to really comprehend what was going on. Like just go watch all of the Sydney Olympics.
I mean, I'm on
Right,
season
right.
64 of the Olympics. This stuff is great. This Michael Phelps dude, he's awesome.
Or like go back to like 1924 and be like, these gymnasts suck. Do a backflip. Quit somersaulting.
Do you guys remember when that tweet went viral where that dude was like, "Man, I'm on season 2 of the Olympics. When does this LeBron or the NBA? When does this
NBA?
LeBron dude show up? Because this stuff sucks."
Well, he's gonna miss that Wilt Chamberlain 100-point game because apparently that video doesn't exist anymore.
Crazy.
But outside of the Olympics, I did start Batman: Caped Crusader.
Nice.
I've watched the first 2 episodes.
Oh,
and
nice. You
I
did
have
get around to it.
really enjoyed it. Yeah, I watched the
Good.
second episode right before I came here.
Nice.
There's no Olympics on, so.
Good time for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ooh, I should say, just like as a, this isn't a like up to date medal count, but there's like this competition going on in between the Aussies and the U.S. for swimming medals.
Oh, yeah.
And
Aussies?
we crushed them in medals.
Oh, yeah.
We just, we're just better all around. But the Aussies only care about golds. And we beat them in that too. In the last race, the women's medley relay, they got a world record and a gold medal.
Oh, my gosh.
And we won 8-7.
Let's go.
Nice.
Let's go, baby.
America.
Better luck next time, Aussies. but we'll be at home, so I don't know.
And then we go to their place.
That's a good point. But we're pretty good on the road. We got
Yeah.
a pretty good reputation.
We do have a good reputation for sure. Well, cool. All right, I think that brings us to the end of this week's episode. Thank you for hanging out with us.
An hour and 9 minutes, baby.
Yeah, it's a quick one this week.
It's because we didn't say it'd be a quick one this week.
It's true. I gotta remember that. So thanks for listening, watching. We'll see you next time.